This is gonna work, people. This is gonna work. Well, the jack's stuck under there now, so that's good. Oh, Simon, I got an idea. Take your whole running, driving, perfectly capable car apart. That's a good idea. I just want to go on the record and say I truly thought I was done with the rear suspension. Turns out I'm not. The problem, while it is way lower in here, I thought I would be okay with this. I mean, I can slide a thin piece of paper underneath my link mount here, but the more I think about it, the more time I have to process it, I ain't gonna be okay with that. It's gonna bug me, and it's always gonna be in the back of my mind that I should have just did it when I coulda. So I don't have to cut it all apart and do it again in the future if it is a problem or I'm just not happy with it, because that's what's gonna happen. You don't believe me? This is a prime example of me cutting it all apart again and redoing it because I wasn't completely happy with it. And I should have done that from the get-go, but I would time crunches and pressure on yourself. It didn't work. I should have just did it. It was dumb not to. That being said, we have learned from some of our mistakes. The guy's gotta stop second guessing himself all the time. He should just go for what he wants instead of, you know, thinking it's probably not a good idea. Maybe it is a good idea. Maybe you should just do it. Redoing somebody else's work, that sucks. Redoing your own work is annoying as hell, but you gotta chalk it up as a learning experience, and if you ain't happy, you ain't happy. Make yourself happy. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about your car. People told me it looked good. I said, I don't care. I don't like it. We're going down. That's what we're doing. So cutting apart all my hard work I had done on this interior, and I don't think we need to cut anymore. I hope we don't have to cut anymore. Probably have to redo my fuel lines now looking at this too, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Either way, the floor's cut out. I am unsure of how I can do this and not screw up the whole rear end completely to start over from scratch. Ugh, I need my light. Come here. The camera almost works as a arm extender. So, obviously these are what I'm going to cut off on both sides. I mean, because everything is where it's supposed to be. So my thinking is, right or wrong, it's what I'm gonna do. I should be able to disconnect this side. It shouldn't change the axle shouldn't rotate because this side's still gonna be connected. It may pivot this way a little bit, and that's okay because I can take all my measurements and get it back to where it needs to be after I take the link bars off. And then I'll get this side all tacked on. So that'll lock this side back in. And then I should be able to cut that side off and kind of do the same thing. It may, like I said, it may rotate this way a little bit. I'm not sure if it will or not, but if it does, we can work with that, hopefully. So that's what we're gonna do. And then just hope that it all works like it's supposed to is all we can do. I don't know what else to do. I don't know. We're just gonna do it. All right, moment of truth, here we go. Lost my socket already. Nope. Already on the floor, rolled under the car. We're off to a record-breaking awesome start. Oh my God, it's way over there. Nope, can't reach that. My body doesn't move that way. Got it. Alrighty, let's try this again. No time like the present. If I ever want to drive this car again, I gotta do something. I'm not putting her back to the way she was. Well, the bolt came out. That's a good sign. Perfect. We'll check our measurements just to double check nothing moved, but it looked okay. What I think I'll do now, get this bad boy off of here and see how that goes. My plan is to take the backing plate off. I already wrote down what the measurements were. Raise that up 4.5 inches. And we should be golden. Start putting her back together. I'm really dragging my feet on this whole project a little bit because I'm nervous that I don't want to screw it up, that I have to redo it for a third time. So, just trying to take my time, take it easy, not rush too far down the line, realizing I got to come back and fix something I should have done from the get-go. So, essentially that's what we're doing already, but I don't want to do it again. All right, let's real talk here for a second. I understand how parallel 4-link should be level to the ground at ride height when you're setting it up. However, I already know to get that level, it's gonna have to be like way up here and there's no frame left to attach this to. I could build the frame up. I could go through all that jazz. I don't even have the actual at ride height. We're not trying to fix ride height levelness. We're trying to fix link mounts dragging on the ground when we drop her out. So that's what our focus is. So I'm going to go with the fact of I'm going to make sure that this mount is no lower than the bottom of the frame. And that's where we're going to set it. So this can't hit without the frame hitting, and if the frame's hitting, we ain't going any lower anyways, right? How does that affect the geometry? I don't know. I really don't know. We're gonna try it and see. It was working with it way down here. I mean, it may have been not working great, but it was still working for what I was doing. So we're only gonna improve that by moving this mount up, and we should be about there-ish. I'm trying to clamp something in here to hold it for me because, you know, I'm always working by myself like a lot of guys, and well, I don't have the patience to wait for somebody to come help me. So we're just trying to make do so we don't get delayed here because we want to get this done. Is this the correct way to do it? Probably not. Probably not at all. Don't take my lead on this as an example of what you should or shouldn't be doing to your car. I mean, we should be good. Why do you do this to yourself, Simon? I just drooled. That was awesome. It's still just a touch below the frame because it starts arcing right there. Curving, bending. It goes up. How does that look? I mean, we're pretty much there. Just want a little more, I think. I just don't want to have to do this again. I honestly didn't want to have to do it the first time. I know I had about an inch of clearance under the frame, and now I think we're gonna go with it here. If I get too much higher, I mean, we gotta rebuild, we gotta build up off the frame for the mount so this doesn't have any give in it. So here I'm still good. I'm halfway across. I can still build some gusseting back here for it, and I think it'll be okay. So we're gonna get her clamped up tight. We're gonna tack it in rather well, and then do the other side. Then we'll cycle everything, make sure we're good on it. I think we'll drop it to the ground and we'll cycle it as well, just to make sure there's no more clearance issues that we gotta frickin' fix. That's what we're gonna do. Ain't gonna lie, it's been another half an hour since I cut the camera the last time, still sitting here staring at it, trying to decide if this is the best option. This is how my builds take so frickin' long to get done, because I'm always second guessing myself. I put a bigger spacer in there, we raised her up a little bit more. We're just gonna go for it at this point. After I get my ground on. Grounds are important, people. All right, now, without further delay, we're gonna start burning some metal. Well, at least tacking it. Yep, knocked my helmet off. All right, she's tacked, but now I got more grinding and more cutting and more disassembling. But I am happy that I got one at least tacked back in. This is gonna work, people. This is gonna work. Well, we got her tacked up in there. I forgot how much I enjoy the smell of the crap burning inside the box frame. It's real pleasant. I really enjoy that. Before I rush ahead and weld everything solid, check my broken tape measure. Yeah, that happened today too, so that's awesome. Where was I? Oh, before I go ahead and weld this all in and burn it solid, I am going to... Oh, that light's not helping you. We're gonna cycle the airbags once, a couple times, 3 times maybe, I don't know. We're basically gonna make sure, I'm still smelling that smoke. Oh my God, that's terrible. I basically wanna make sure the suspension's all gonna cycle with no binding issues anywhere. So hopefully we can finally move on. It's not too much to ask. It shouldn't be too much to ask. All right, here goes nothing. We'll let the air out. Oh wait, I gotta jack it up and get the jack stands out of the way. Maybe I can just pump it up and get the jack stands out of the way. I might be out of there. All right, let's drop her down and see how we look with everything. It actually went down really nicely. We don't appear to be binding anywhere. We're not hitting the frame anymore. I can't even get my fingers between the frame and the notch. Was not the case before. I think we did a good thing here. Let's get a look from this side here. It looks good. I don't see anything wrong. Makes me nervous. It definitely makes me nervous. Well, we'll cycle her a couple times and everything looks good. I think we're gonna get her welded a little more solid and drop her on the ground and then go from there. Going up. We did a good thing here, people. We did a really good thing. So frickin' happy. As best as I can tell, everything is square, everything is good, nothing's binding. The axle goes up and down, no issues, nothing's shifting uncontrollably out of the way. I don't know what else to do. I mean, that's gotta be good. I know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna lock her in, get her on the ground, and make sure we're happy with it. Let's get this thing welded together. Glue it in. Lick the stamp, as they say. I don't know. Do they say that? Who knows? All right, folks, we got her welded in there. I mean, they're not usually not that pretty, but you know, it's not terrible looking. I do plan on boxing that in somehow. It's like 1.5 inches. I'm just gonna take some 1.5 inches, weld to the frame, weld to this. It should help stabilize it a little more on the upside here so it's not so wobbly. I don't think it'll be an issue, but we're gonna do it. Definitely am one to overbuild because I never know what's good enough. But before I do that, oh, it is, it just reeks of whatever that burning is going on inside the frame rails. It just stinks out here. So I'm trying to get it all wrapped up with the welding tonight. So tomorrow when I'm out here, it's not an issue because it's just stinky. I can smell it and taste it right down in the bottom of the lungs. Ugh. I'm gonna put the whole car back on the ground and lay her down, see if we have any other binding, fitment, hitting the ground too soon issues. Because if we are, I want to know now before I go and weld extra stuff on those mounts up there, because it'd just be more I have to cut out if I have to cut it out. So let's figure it out now. I am hoping that this all goes flawlessly and we're rebuilding. We're not cutting anything more apart. We're gonna start rebuilding. Whoa, boy. That could have gone really bad. Well, the jack's stuck under there now, so that's good. Huh. I don't know how much actual lift I got here, but we're gonna hope we got enough. I think that's enough. Whew, that could have been bad. Almost lost my damn fingers. All right. Moment of truth. Again, are we gonna bind or bottom out on something we don't want to bottom out on? Yes. This is what I wanted. I wanted to be able to roll the car completely aired out still. You know, worst case scenario type stuff. And we're gonna be able to. Let's take a peek-see inside here and see, make sure the clearances are good and nothing that we can see is causing a problem that we need to address now. Because if we need to address it now, we're gonna frickin' address it now. Let's get some light in here. Look at that, the frame is like an inch off the ground. The frame would actually hit the ground before the body, it looks like. I can now stick my hand under there, so that's a good sign. No more issues. I actually think we're at the stage now where we get to start putting her back together, which is freaking awesome.